Brand new video. I'm taking up where I left off. We're on a thing called Johnson's Ridge, and there's an observatory right down there. But this is where they built this strictly as an observatory for Mount St. Helens. You can see the devastation that it caused. It's just 57 people were killed right over there, and this is just still barren as it can be. But there's the mountain right.
The Toutle River
Sorry.
out that way.
Right there, and that's where this gash is out of it on that side is what blew, and it blew this way, and the stuff coming out of it was ash and magma and so forth. It was 500 miles per hour. Just brutal. But it just devastated this whole place. And right over there above that ridge is the top of Mount Rainier, which we will visit. But when the explosion took place over there, it took about 1,500 feet off the top. The top right now is about 8,000 feet, what you're looking at. And this gap is where it blew all that stuff this way. This is the Cascade mountain range. Take a last look. That's the last time I'll ever see it. Stumps were some of the trees that were just blown off. You just see what it did to them. Just blew them off. No problem. Today is June the 18th, and you talk about wilderness. This is Mount Rainier National Park. We left our campground this morning, which was 50 miles off the interstate, and came 40 miles to right here. Now we're going to go to an observation area and check out Mount Rainier. Let me go before this truck gets me. All right, we're climbing up about 2,700 more feet to a place called Paradise. We're going to Paradise. That's nice. Good to know. But we're at a glacial river, and the water looks like Portland cement. But the white caps that you see on, and I'll show you a little bit later on Rainier, are glaciers. And this is the melting glacier runoff. There's a little girl down there just can't get enough. But I want to let you read this: ever-changing glacial river. Hope you got that. Coming up, heading toward Rainier, and I just had to photograph this. This is quite impressive. This is a glacial runoff called Nasqually River. Pretty wild country through here. That's a big old gorge right there. This is glacial runoff. Right, here's another vantage point from across the road on the bridge. Pretty magnificent.
This is a glacial waterfall. Our road's up there, so we had to hike a little way right down here. This waterfall, created by glacier, runs all year round. Nice little rainbow below. That dark spot up there that's barely in the clouds is the top of Mount Rainier, 14,400 feet, tallest peak in the continental United States. We were hoping that the mountain would be out, OUT as they call it, which means that you can see everything, and it was up until we got close, and then these moisture clouds come in from the Pacific over that way. Hit this mountain and just bounce around up there, and it creates its own weather system. We're parked back down that way, about probably 600 or 700 feet lower than this. We had to hike up this trail. A lot of wildflowers. It's gorgeous up here. Very pretty. Mount Rainier, Washington. Sorry the mountain wasn't out. I failed to mention that all these are glaciers. All year round, water's running out of these glaciers, which makes the tremendous water flow down here in the valleys. It's continuous build up and melt. There's a little glimpse of the top. Just a little bit, it's clearing, but it's only briefly. Mount Rainier is in the Cascade range of mountains. Mount Rainier right now is at my back. There's a visitor center, roof, and a lodge. You can come up here and spend a week or two. Gorgeous mountain range. Of course, Mount Rainier just dominates everything from afar. This part of the park is called Paradise. And this is the Paradise Visitor Center. Very busy today. It's June 18th, Thursday. I hear on weekends and all of July and August, this place is truly packed.
Break, that right there is the summit of Mount Rainier. It's called Mount Rainier, not Rainier. And all of this snow are glaciers. And this is called the River of Ice. Coming out, that's where the glaciers drain. But the summit peeped out for just a second. It's just to the left of that tree. All right, I don't want to wear you out, but that little brown spot right to the left of the tree is the summit. Just peeking out. There's just a lot of cloud cover here today. But I didn't want to leave without seeing the summit. There it is.
This is a shot of Puget Sound. We're in Washington, a little bit west of Tacoma, where they're having the U.S. Open today. We just passed the Goodyear Blimp, parked at a little airfield. We're heading up to the Olympic Peninsula, Olympic National Park.
Yesterday we drove along the Puget Sound on a treacherous road. Part of it was washed out. It was kind of freaky, but went to Sequim, S-E-Q-U-I-M. Squim is the way it's pronounced. Spent the night in a Walmart Astoria and drove up to Port Angeles today, which is about 15 miles. And this is Mount Olympus right over there. And there's a fire south of us that's just obliterated the view. But I'm not going to complain. Just glad to be here. It's a pretty country. We're up about 8,000 feet, I think. Olympic National Park in Washington.
We're at the Hurricane Ridge Visitor Center, up above Port Angeles, about a mile up. It's June 22nd. It's probably about 55 degrees up here, middle of the day, for all you people back in Savannah that are sweating 100 degrees. Gorgeous view. We're looking out over to Victoria, British Columbia, Vancouver Island. That's a strait of Strait of Juan de Fuca, which connects the Pacific Ocean with Puget Sound, outside of Seattle.
Some bad blurb a while ago. I said about 8,000 feet. Those deer are really afraid of us right there. But this is 5,240 feet, about a mile high. And it's just smoky as it can be. Can't see anything. This is trivia. That crow is just humongous. He looks like a poodle. It's the biggest crow I've ever seen. Oops. He knows I'm talking about him. Today's June 23rd. We're leaving Port Angeles, Washington, on a ferry, a big boat, probably 250 feet, I would think. It carries motorhomes, cars, people, everything. And we're going to take a 90-minute ride to Victoria, the capital of British Columbia. We're going across the Straits of Juan de Fuca, ever who that was, an explorer. We're going to be on here for an hour and a half. A little bit better perspective. We're headed straight across out of Port Angeles to Victoria, which is the capital of British Columbia, which is right over there. And this strait right here goes out to the Pacific Ocean. Back over here to the right, it's a very busy shipping channel. To the right goes to Puget Sound around Seattle. So I guess right now we're probably headed due north out of Port Angeles. We got some more blurb. The boat's 342 feet long, 72 feet wide. There's Port Angeles right over there. If you go out to the Pacific and turn right in fairly short order, you'll be in the Gulf of Alaska.
There's a seaplane taking off in the inner harbor of Victoria, British Columbia. Since this is an island, Vancouver Island, a lot of the access from the mainland of British Columbia and Vancouver is by seaplane.
Back at Port Angeles, rather, we were up there on top of those mountains yesterday. But this is the end of the video. I'm going to start another. We just got into Victoria. So this is the end of this video.